Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Running the Gauntlet. Today we are moving into Phase 3 of the Gauntlet runs located within the Rise of the Phoenix DLC. And this is where the heat gets turned up to 11. Even right off the bat with the rift that we'll be looking at today, which is the level 120 Cosmic Justice Rift, things are pretty intense, but don't worry, because that's what we're here to do, is walk you through the core requirements for each individual level and segment of the gauntlet, as well as the 4 different clear condition rewards that you can gain out of this. So right off the bat, we have a fight that is going to be against a bunch of different enemies, including Punisher and Moon Knight. Now, Moon Knight doesn't kick in until about the halfway point after you've taken out a certain amount of enemies. So you can indeed take Punisher out completely before Moon Knight ever has a chance to appear. Additionally, all of your abilities will have increased damage, while everything else will have decreased damage. So you do want to keep that in mind as you're running about here. And since this is a level 120 difficulty rift, these opponents hit very, very hard. So you've got to be careful to not take too many kicks or punches right to the face. As you saw there, Wolverine was taking quite a hefty beating, and so we did switch off of him in an effort to conserve a bunch of his health. I switched over to Moon Knight to break down a bit more of Punisher's health, and you saw that we dropped him right there shortly after Moon Knight had spawned in. And since we have a couple of additional characters running around here, we do want to take them out as quickly as we can. Now, I still got Thanos Infinite on the team, but I'm trying not to use him or rely too much on him in this segment, because yes, he does a lot of damage with abilities, but there is another clear requirement that we need to keep in mind if we want to get all of the rewards out of this gauntlet run, which we'll touch on in just a little bit here. I have switched over to him for now because I did want to take out a bunch of these grunts, as they were causing a bit too much of a nuisance, and now that we have them down to a much more manageable number, we should be able to take on Moon Knight a little more easily and progress on to the second phase after he goes down, along with the last couple of grunts that are located within here. And just like that, we have Moon Knight staggered out, and with a couple of synergy attacks, we should be able to take him down. As a matter of fact, we're going to get one more in here, and that's what takes him out, though there are a few opponents that go down within a few milliseconds after that, and that allows us to progress on to the second phase. Phase number 2 of this gauntlet, I actually really like the way that it works. So there's no quirks or gimmicks here. You've just got to take down Spider-Gwen within the 4-minute timer, and there are a couple of additional opponents that pop in here. Now, Spider-Gwen spawns in almost immediately right at the onset of this gauntlet, and I do unleash a couple of extreme attacks right here because Wolverine and Miles Morales were looking a little bit low on their health, and that helped us to replenish that up because of the Vitality Mastery that we have. But you're probably thinking, hey, Spider-Gwen just went down, why haven't we ended the rift? And that is because Spider-Gwen with the Gwenom alternate costume comes in, and we've got to take her on now. It's the exact same fight that we just did within this segment in and of itself, but we get an alternate version of Gwenom, and we get to showcase the different skins that are present for these characters. This is an outfit that you can acquire within game. No additional purchasing needed. You just need to make sure that you are acquiring the adequate amount of your shield tokens, and you can buy that from the Shield Depot in any of the DLC menus. So I really like how that gives you a glimpse of what you can purchase or what you can acquire, even if you haven't had the chance to glance through that portion of the menu. So with a couple of final synergy attacks there, Spider-Gwen in the Gwenom alternate goes down, and that allows us to move on to the third leg of this gauntlet. Now this one is pretty straightforward. We've got a Phoenix Force imbued version of Venom and a Phoenix Force imbued version of Miles Morales that spawn in here, and we've got to take them down. The quirk with this fight is you only deal meaningful damage with your synergy attacks, which means for all intents and purposes of actually dealing damage to our characters, Thanos Infinite is useless in this section of this gauntlet because though he has devastating abilities, he cannot synergize with any other team member, and that really proves to be quite a bit of a detriment. So I do use him a little bit to take down the stagger bars of our different enemies, but that's about all I relegate him to. And while I do a bunch of the synergy attack damage against Venom and Miles Morales here, let's talk about the clear conditions that you need to do, because this is going to go on for a bit and you get the general gist of what is required to clear out this portion of that gauntlet run. So of course we need to clear out the gauntlet once in order to progress into the or claim that section of the rewards. We also need to deal a total of 9 million or more damage with abilities, and you actually should be able to get that within a single run of the gauntlet, especially if you're playing your cards right. The third criteria that we're looking for is defeating 50 powerful enemies, and you'll probably need to run this gauntlet at least twice to get that, but any of these mini-boss characters or the grunts that spawn in that have that stagger bar, they will count towards that total as you are looking to gain points towards that objective. The fourth and final portion of the clear rewards for this section of the gauntlet is going to be dealing 12 million or more damage with synergy attacks, and I actually had to run this gauntlet 3 separate times. You probably won't have to do that as much if you're not relying on Thanos Infinite to carry you through, as you should be seeking out any opportunity to use a synergy attack wherever you can, and that is especially important for this leg, or this section of that gauntlet in particular. Now, you do see me detonating a couple of extreme attacks here. They're not going to really do much because their damage is so heavily nerfed in this section in particular. We're not actually going to make really any damage back off of, or regain any health back off of the opponents because of the such the heavy nerf that goes into the damage being doled out by that extreme attack. We are looking to do one final synergy attack there with Wolverine and Miles Morales, and as we do so, that allows us to progress into the fourth and final section of this gauntlet, which this one doesn't have any other restrictions. It does have the quirk of you have 40 seconds to clear out this particular version, but you can restore time to that timer by taking out opponents, and you will gain increased amounts of time depending on the difficulty of the opponent that you take down. Now, the main boss that we need to take out here is Daredevil, and he is imbued with the Phoenix Force power enhancement, but we can lean back into using Thanos Infinite when and where we need to take him out. Though you will notice that due to the synergy damage outlook cap that we're looking to acquire, anytime I have him staggered down, I do immediately switch over to any other member of my team and seek to deploy the synergy attack there. And right like this, you see that I wanted to get a couple of more synergy attacks in there, but alas, none of my team members were close enough to Daredevil in order to unleash those attacks onto him. I unfortunately detonated my extreme attack with Miles Morales, having him way too far away from Daredevil to actually get things done, but with one final adamantium uppercut, we do have Wolverine taking the charge and clearing out that last section. And that is what you need to know for the level 120 Cosmic Justice Gauntlet run. If you found this video informative, helpful, or enjoyable, please feel free to leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily content as I bring videos from many different games to you every single day, including some footage and gameplay of the Marvel's Avengers game coming out this Friday for PS4, so look forward to that as well. Thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day.